What's up, you beautiful, blessed boys and girls? Look, I got a message for you today, and it's, sometimes you gotta get fed up. Sometimes you gotta get fed up with that body looking back at you in the mirror. Sometimes you gotta get fed up with looking at that bank account and it screaming back, you are broke. You gotta get fed up with having an average faith and always feeling like a hypocrite, like you're letting yourself down. You get fed up with having a roommate type marriage where it's just, more transactional than passionate in the way that you envisioned when you got married. You gotta get fed up, and sometimes you gotta have a hard look at yourself and ask yourself, why am I not living the way that I know I can live? I know I was created for more, and in these moments of clarity I have, I know that I can be better. But daily, these little daily habits, I'm choosing to not do so. Why is that? Well, in this video, I want to break down some key points where I think I can help you guys identify what's holding you back, how to give those things up, and how to walk into that life you want. I'll share a personal story of the exact day that I broke down and I said, I refuse to live this way anymore. I refuse to be average. I refuse to keep complaining about everything, blaming everyone else. It's gonna be on me. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to get to the points in life I wanna get to. This is available for anybody out here watching this today. You have to make some sacrifices, and I'll go over those things too. Let's dig into it, baby. So look, I'm gonna share my personal journey. I was 34 and a half. I started a little bit of a self-improvement journey, but it was always a step forward, 2 step backs kind of thing. One night I remember, man, I was laying on the couch and my wife had snapped a picture of me and I saw my gut hanging over. It's something I wasn't really proud of, right? And it just kind of hit me. I wasn't being the kind of leader I needed to be in my home. I wasn't being the kind of dad that I should be. We didn't have the kind of bank account or freedom or anything that I wanted to be. And I always blamed my boss. I blamed the economy. I blamed the president. I blamed whatever I could, right? It was never me. And I remember that night crying in tears on my knees. And I said, I'm never going to blame anybody else again. I'm going to take ownership. I think that has to be step one for anybody that wants to get to another spot in life. You have to take ownership. Look, whether it's your fault or not, maybe you do have a boss that rides you constantly, is on your butt, and doesn't help you get a promotion. Maybe you do just have bad genes and you need to work out harder. Maybe you do have, fill in the blank, right? But guess what? You're the problem and you're the solution. And you can decide today, if a wall comes up, I'm going through it, over it, around it. I don't care. Everything is on me. And let me tell you what that does. That gives you so much freedom because now you're in control. Now you get to say, you know what, every day I'm going to wake up and choose to put my best focus, my best energy on these goals and these dreams and where I'm going. So step one, you got to take extreme ownership. It's not your wife's fault. It's not your president's fault. It's not your economy's fault. It's not your boss's fault. Everything in your life comes down to you and your decisions and where you choose to put your focus. Step two, you gotta get these things on paper. That's the first thing I did. I got into tears that night that I saw my body. I realized I was not being the man I needed to be, and I got out a pen and paper. Now I'm a real big pen and paper guy. I got notebooks all over my room, everywhere. I'm always journaling these days. But back then I hadn't written since high school, probably since I copied papers back in high school off friends. But I got out a notebook that night for whatever reason, and I wrote rules for myself. And I remember writing, this is where I want to be someday. I didn't know how long it was going to take to get there. I didn't care. I just knew time is going to go by either way. And so what I choose to do every day is either going to take me one step closer to getting to where I want to be or one step farther away. And I'm going to work backwards on that life that I want to create. And I'm going to put in these daily habits, these daily steps to make sure I get there. So for me, the easy one was, getting up every day with no snooze, getting to the gym, getting my body right, getting my mind right. I mean, the gym does as much for your mind as it does for your body, but I was just lazy. I'd go for a while, I wouldn't go for a while. I made that non-negotiable. We ain't snoozing. We're getting up and we're hitting some movement. I added some other list things in there where, I meal prepped all my food instead of going out for lunch every day. That saved money, saved health, a lot of the things that aligned with my long-term goals that took me closer. Started writing gratitude every single day. Haven't missed a day in 1,647 days now. Writing gratitude and spending a minute with God, just thanking Him for the new day that I got and seeing that vision in my mind of where I want to keep going to. You got to get these things on paper. Make them non-negotiable. I don't care if you feel like it or not. The world doesn't care if you feel like it or not. Feelings don't count. If somebody's told you need a safe space when you don't feel well, I'm sorry, they've lied to you. You just need to understand and make up in your mind right now, life's not fair. It's not. Some people are born with better genes, born into millions of dollars, born with this, born with that. But here's the cool thing. It doesn't matter where you start, it's where you go. And nobody can hold you back but you from the life you want to create. Once you decide in your mind, you get these things on paper and you wake up with the mindset that today I'm getting after my dreams. And tomorrow, I'm getting after my dreams. I swear to you, human beings have this thing where we feel like, we overestimate what we can accomplish in a few days. And this is why you'll see people get very fired up. They go to the gym, it's January 1st, they hit the gym hard for that week, they hit the gym hard for 2 weeks. Well, then guess what, man? I've only lost a pound. It's 2 weeks, man. I've been going hard. But they underestimate what they can accomplish and the compounding effect if you just keep going. You don't get the body that you want by going to the gym for 2 weeks. You get it by going for 2 years. You don't get the mindset that you want to see life as a gift and be very grateful by writing what you're grateful for 3 times. You get it over the course of years. And so you have to have a long-term vision with these things, and that's step 3. It took me 6.5 years to get out of corporate when I made up the decision I want to escape corporate. I don't want to work for a boss anymore that tells me I have to wear a shirt and tie every day, have to sit in meetings I don't want to be, have to miss my kids' practices or games, be late for dinner. I don't want that kind of life. It took me 6.5 years working an 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. shift. It took some sacrifice, right? Giving up some certain things. I'll get to that later. But you have to know going in, it's not a magic pill. There's no magic pills. Anybody out there on the internet that's telling you, just take my $9.99 course and within 3 weeks, you'll have the body, you'll have the mind, the finances. That stuff doesn't exist. That snake oil salesman, it does not exist. What does exist is hard work, man, and it's never been easier. You can network with great people. The internet has leveled the playing field for this. All the time you take browsing on Instagram and looking at people's vacations and where they're at, or watching sports, or what the Kardashians are doing. I don't know what you people are doing, man, but if you take away some of that time and put it into yourself, I swear what you can accomplish in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, again, time's gonna keep going either way. Why not put it into your dreams and creating that best future for yourself? Step 4, guys, and this is just what you gotta know going in. Nobody told me this, but there takes sacrifice. You're gonna have to give up some things. I'll tell you a few of the things I had to give up, and it wasn't easy. I gave up bars and drinking a lot of nights and watching a lot of sports with friends. Probably, I always said I didn't have time to work out. I was a busy dad, working, went back to college. I didn't have time. I watched 25 hours of sports every week. I met friends at bars a couple times a week. I had time, I just didn't have my priorities right. And I will challenge anybody out there. You get the same 24 hours that all of us get. And so you look at your day, you start to break it down and you say, well, where am I? That 15 minutes scrolling on TikTok in the morning, man, or whatever it is, Instagram in the morning. You know what? If you just instead spring out of bed, write what you're grateful for, start to journal, start to read, start to create that life you want, start to study at night instead of zoning out to Netflix for 2 hours, We gave up cable TV, we gave up Netflix, we gave up Hulu, we gave up all these things 3.5 years ago. Haven't looked back. There's a cost. I don't sit and zone out at night anymore. I work on things I'm passionate about. I try and create the best future for myself. One of the toughest things I think I gave up was golf. I love to golf, man. Played with friends, and not that there's anything wrong with golf. It was just during this season of my life, every time I went to golf, it took 4 hours, 4.5 hours, cost me $60 or so. I'm trying to escape corporate, create the life I want. Instead, I put that, maybe 3 hours of that into creating my business and creating my things, and then an hour of that into my family, which aligns with my mission or whatever that would look like for you. So you need to know going in, you're gonna have to sacrifice certain things and be okay with that. Is the juice worth the squeeze of buying this item? It's gonna cost us, we have to work X amount to buy this thing. Is it worth it? You just need to ask yourself these questions as you move along in life, because I will challenge you that these people you probably look up to, you admire, they've created the life they want, they're absolutely no different than you. They just decided this is the life I want and I'm willing to pay the cost to get there. So I ask you at the end of this video, friend, are you willing to pay that cost? Are you willing to say, I'm going to sacrifice some of that cheap dopamine hit and have the discipline to create the life that I want in the future? You just sometimes got to get tired. For me, just one night, it was just, dude, I felt like I got punched in the gut when I saw that picture my wife took of me. When I realized me and my wife are just not passionate, man. We're 2 years into marriage and it is a roommate transactional type marriage. When I realized I was really no closer, I talked about wanting to get out of the bank. I talked about it, but I had no plan to do it. I didn't work on it. I watched Netflix and sports every night. I just complained. I wasn't taking action. Sometimes you got to get sick and tired of making excuses and feeling this way and daydreaming about the life you want and get off your butt and start to accomplish it. So do use this framework that I'm telling you about. Start to set the goals, get them on paper, visualize, have a long-term vision with it, and get up every day and execute it whether you feel like it or not. Reach out to me, reach out to other people. There's so many people that want to help you get there and that have already been through it and happy to give you free tips, free advice, help you with this, throw you in communities. There's many paid communities now you can get in, network with other people trying to get to the same spots in life where you are. Again, the internet has leveled the playing field and we're not confined anymore to just having, well, I have to be friends with my neighbors and coworkers because I have nobody else. I connect with people all over the world. I just got off a call with a guy from the UK 10 minutes before hopping on this. You can connect with people all over the world now, but you got to take action. You got to take the first step. You know, a really powerful tweet I saw from my brother Zuby the other day, and I'll fire this up here, man. You know, he said, if you see a guy stranded on the road and he's broke down in his car, but he's sitting there, everybody keeps driving by. Nobody stops to help. If you see that same guy, broken down car, but he's out there, he's trying to push it down the road, he's trying to change a tire, almost everybody will stop and help that guy. And he said you can apply that to life. You know, when people see other people taking steps on their own, wanting to do better, everybody wants to help, man. People want to help you hop on board, but you have to take that first step. For me, it was just getting pissed off and saying, you know what, I'm already 34. My life's probably already a third over or more, and I'm not living how I want to live. I know I'm going to die as sure as I'm saying this. I know I'm going to pass away. I know you're going to as sure as we're going to say this. I don't want to be on my deathbed regretting, looking back, saying, what if? Nobody gets to the end of their life and says, man, I'm so happy I watched all the seasons of Kardashians 4 times in a row. I'm so happy I watched Game of Thrones all the way through 2 times, which I am guilty of while claiming I didn't have time to do these other things. So you got to really take a hard look at your life today. And this is what I'm asking you to do, to create that vision for yourself. Where do you want to go? Get it on paper, network, reach out to people, have a long-term vision, and let's create it, baby. Nothing's going to change this world more than you changing you and then you inspiring others. And that's how we really change the world. Thanks for watching. I'm pretty fired up today, as you can tell. Let's go have the greatest day of our lives. Speak kindly to yourself. Speak kindly to others. Let's go bless up, baby. Have a good one.